Hey everyone, welcome to my floss tube number 10. Can't believe it's 10 already. But this channel, or my YouTube channel, is focused on quilting, stitching. There are tutorials, but this is my floss tube where we're going to talk about stitching. I'm going to show you what I've been working on. Toward the end, I will talk about this. Oh, I love this quilt. This quilt I did a few years ago. We'll look at that in detail toward the end of the video. But what have I been working on since I talked to you 2 weeks ago? Well, I finished my spring cleaning. Oh, I'm so glad it's done. It was one of those things that I'm not so sure I enjoy doing it, but I like the results. So the windows are clean, the rooms are clean. I still think I'm going to maybe this summer when it's very hot and we don't spend as much time outside. I think I will start going through some closets and things like that, but not right now. The weather's beautiful. My garden is coming along. I've planted a few things. We'll put some pictures in here. The sugar snap peas are starting to work their way up the trellis. I've added some lettuce. The lettuce I planted from seed is coming along. I've just added some more seeds to the garden, so you can't see that yet, but I had to replant some of the herbs because the frost we had, or actually it was a freeze we had this winter, really killed a lot of my herbs, and it also has possibly killed some of our landscaping. We're still waiting to see. But you can see some pictures here of the garden. It's coming along and the weather has been really nice. So right now we're in dogwood blooming time. And remember I said about the winters, well, we haven't had too much of a cool down yet. So we'll probably have a dogwood winter or a cool down somewhere in the next week or so. Oh, who knows? So what have I been working on? I've got my notes here. I have a final finish. You saw this last week, or actually 2 weeks ago. And this is the, oh, that's actually good right there. This is the October 31st. I had this frame at home and I decided to go ahead and frame it. So I will put this out in the fall, but I just love how it looks. And the humming of the bees, that has gone to the framer. And I just thought of something I was gonna grab and I didn't. I'll get that in a minute. So I've taken that over to the framers, and I found a cross-stitch shop about an hour from here, and they do framing. So took that over, and I did pick up, let me grab it. What I did pick up, I picked up some more, what did I get, Weeks? No, I think I got Gentle Arts. Some more Gentle Arts floss that I didn't have, added that to my collection, but they did have the cookbook from the Nashville market. So I went ahead and picked that up after looking at it, and I don't want to show you the charts, but there are some beautiful charts in here and some really interesting recipes. And some of them use Instapot, crock pot, there's just all kinds. So I did look through that and went, yep, I'm gonna get that. So I purchased that. So I have that final finish, and I did get that at the cross stitch shop. Not sure when the framing will be done. I'll show you when it does get done. But what I've been working on, just 2 things really. Now you've seen this. This is Sarah Milthrop. And this was from Sampler Symposium. And I got the border done all the way around. Got the motif, let me get it lined up here right. Got the motif done. And I'm adding the leaves. Now, I want to thank Kim because she pointed out, and how I missed this, I have no idea. I'm thinking when I was checking the border, this particular mistake might have been under the hoop. But Kim, thank you for your eagle eyes and thank you for your comment. Notice that over in here, instead of being rounded, it was a point. And I looked at that and I thought, I have to fix it. Let me stand up so I can see what you're seeing. I have to fix it because these motifs in here have to have enough room to be stitched. And if I left a point, then I couldn't put the motif in. So I took out make sure what you're seeing, took out about that much and corrected it. So what I'm doing right now is adding the leaves. You can see where I'm adding the leaves, and started putting the little doodads in there and finished this gorgeous motif. So I'll probably keep working on the leaves, and I might even work on some of this. What, can you see that? Yeah, I need to stand up so you can see. I'll probably keep working on the leaves and the border. But I started doing that, and I'm trying to remember what stopped me, because I've been loving this. And this is done on 46 count Thornfield by Needle and Flax, and it's using 103 silks that came in our kit. So I've been working on this, and I thought, what stopped me from working on this? And then I remembered last week I had to take the car to get an oil change. And for some reason, probably I didn't want to take my light and all that. I thought, well, I really don't want to take this. So let me grab a project that I've been working on. So I grabbed my Houses of Hawk Run Hollow, which I started last year. Love, love, love this, but it is stitch intensive. So it's going to take a while. So I've got House 1, House 2 done. I'm working on 3. So I grabbed that because that I could sit, and I found a chair at the car dealership where I get the oil changed by a window. So I had my readers, so they're over there. I had my readers that we've talked about in a past video, and I didn't need a light because I had enough natural light, and I just sat there, and I actually sat and watched FlossTube. I didn't want to disturb the people around me, and I forgot my headphones, so what I did is I put it in closed caption and stitched and read the closed caption, and so that was fun. And that made the time that it took for the car to get its oil changed, it went in by in a flash, and when they said, "You're ready," I went, "What? I'm not done with my FlossTube." So I had to leave. But here it is. I've got the first one done, the second one done, and I am working on the last bit of the third one. So you can see I'm working on this, and I do have some of the little decorative stuff done, but I'm working on the filler because last night we had the Tudor Rose Guild meeting, which is virtual, which I'll talk about in a few minutes, but I sat while I was watching the program and stitched on this filler. So that made a good place to do that because I didn't have to count. I could just stitch. This one I'm actually stitching in hand. Sarah Milthrop I'm doing in a hoop. Why I'm switching back and forth, I don't know. This one I just don't have any problem doing by hand or in my hand. This is on 40 count platinum. So this is going to take a while. I'm finding if I work on this monogamously, it takes me almost a month to do one of these completely. But it's not a race, so it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to keep working on it because every time I pick this up, it's like, I love it. I just love it. So I've been working on that, and that's done with just DMC. I think I've shown you the list before. And there are 9, no, there's 12 houses. So I got a ways to go, but that's all right. So I'm going to show you the book of days, and what am I going to work on? Probably those 2. I'll show you. This is March. I'm just keeping track of, I put a few stickers in. That was our anniversary. Keeping track of what I've been working on, and also keeping track when I film the floss tubes and, you know, the spring cleaning. I wrote that in there too because I did it a room at a time, so I kind of see how I did it. And then here's April. So I have a few stickers. I actually wrote on the wrong date and had to add wrote some stuff wrong there. It's like, that's not that week. So I just added more stickers. to cover it up. So I made it look nice. So I wanted to show you some things that I have received this week. Well, in the last 2 weeks. And then we will move over to my Zoom studio so I can show you some things on my PC. But let me show you this. Just came. In fact, I was setting up everything to record and I saw the mail. And I went, I hope what's coming is here. And it was. So this, and I try to spread around where I order from. This I purchased from Anabella's, which I have purchased for them before. It came quickly. Whatever I ordered from them comes quickly, well packaged. I got the crowns and shields from Blackbird. And I know you've seen people, it's based on that antique sampler. So it's 3 different designs pulled from that sampler. And this one, I know you've seen some people on Instagram working on it. I'm gonna fold it so. I think Sherry from Colorado Cross Stitch is working on that. I think she posted that, but I just fell in love with that. So here's the antique. And so there are 3 different projects pulled from that. So I'm looking forward to, like I said, I just got it. I'm looking forward to sitting down and looking at it because the photos, as you know, with Blackbird are just beautiful. Look at that. So you can just sit and look at it and enjoy it before you start projects. So that came. And then Teresa from Kitten Stitcher, if you've not watched her FlossTube, her latest one, please do, because I know you've seen that she has a new book called Most Humble Hands, and this is done from samplers that she has collected. And I've seen people talking about it, and they're working on some things from it. But when I watched her video, and she showed the antiques, talked about them, showed the reproduction, I ordered it. And I actually ordered both of her books. You can get them as a set. So I ordered Most Humble Hands, and then also her Red Letter Day. And they came very quickly, well packaged. Anything I have ordered from her comes quickly, care taken with the packages. So I love ordering from her. So she has signed it. And this is Red Letter Day. And it has, I believe, 5 samplers in it. These Red Letter Day. Let's see, I think I can show you this. There's no chart. So it's just filled with different samplers. Let me look at this one. Make sure what you're seeing. Yeah. I always feel like peeking around the corner at you when I do that. Yeah, let me show you one more, because this one, yeah, it's this one. I'll fold it so I don't want to break the book. There we go. Look at that. Oh, this one I think has 6 or 7 samplers. Yes, I can show you this one. This one took my breath away. Look at this. Look at that alphabet. So I'm looking forward to, just like with the Blackbird, sitting down. Oh, look at this one. Sitting down, reading the different information in here and the stories, and Teresa does a beautiful job with this. So that is one of the books that I purchased from her, Red Letter Day. And then this is her new one, Most Humble Hands. She did autograph it. And this one, like I said, watch her last FlossTube, because she will talk about it. This has some red samplers. And these are all things that she's collected. Look at this one. I can't show you if I cover it up, because that is a chart. Here's the antique. Yeah, there's the antique. There's the reproduction. And she shows them, and there were several that just took my breath away. This one is red and blue, and that's also on the back cover, so you can really see it. I'm going to show you the one that just, This is the antique. I'm gonna see if I can somehow show it without showing the chart. There we go. That's the antique. That one I just loved. And then there's a mark, I think it's a marking sampler. Yeah, look at this. This is a marking sampler, 1805 EW. That's the antique I just showed you. Make sure, yeah, not showing you any chart. Oh, that's pretty. And another red one. Again, look at the alphabet. Oh, she does a much better job than I'm doing describing everything. And is this a darning sampler? This actually has the feel of a Quaker. Make sure I've got it. But again, and I can't show you that because maybe I can't. Look at this great big tomato that she's put in here. Again, I don't want to show you the chart. Look at that. So, it's a wonderful book. I think there's 5 or 6 samplers in every one. I'll show you one more. I do not want to show you the chart, but I don't want to bend it either. So if you haven't seen, here's a darning sampler. If you haven't seen Kitten Stitcher, Teresa's last floss tube, do look at that because she talks in depth about this and shows the antiques and the reproductions. So those just came today. Those books just came today. Now I have a few other things that I picked up. Let me grab them here. And Teresa added that little sticker in with my package. Now I ordered a couple needle minders from Siggy's Closet. Came beautifully packaged. It's Siggy's Closet, but look at, let's see if I can, look at this. So I ordered that. And the other one I ordered from her, remember last time we talked about how I really like beehives because the last name is Combs. Look at that. So I ordered a couple needle minders from her, and look what she sent as a little thank you. Aren't those cute? So I will put the link in the description for that. So I got those. Also got, like everything is piled up here. I've been on the search for some lakeside linen, which is difficult to get. So what I've done is I contacted Traditional Stitches and went to their website and ordered. And what happens when you order from them is you get in line. And when they get it in, they send it to you. It could be soon, it could be a while, but the best way to know you're going to get it is to get in line with your order. So this came fairly quickly, within maybe a couple of weeks after I placed the order. This is 40 count vintage light exemplar. So I did get that. I have a few other linens that I have ordered with them. So I'll be waiting for those. I also ordered, this is 46 count, Just the Ticket from Tabby Cat. And I ordered that from Tabby Cat's website, which I believe Michelle is who I ordered that from. She is Tabby Cat Linen, gorgeous linen. This is a fat quarter of Just the Ticket. And that is coming from France. That came so quickly. And again, so well packaged. I wanted to show you. I don't want to mix these up. Just the Ticket and Vintage Light Exemplar are very similar. The Vintage Light Exemplar has just a little bit lighter, just a little bit more mottled. So if you can't get the Lakeside, the Tabby Cat, this is Just the Ticket, just a little bit darker, but I think it's helpful to see them side by side so you can kind of compare. And I did get one other piece of linen. No, I got some more. Which I don't have any on order after this, except with traditional stitches from Farmer's Attic. And again, came quickly, well packaged. I did order, I think this is from the Nashville Market, Brick House Sampler, or maybe it's an older pattern. It is, it's an older pattern, and I saw it, oh, might have been with Carol, Saltbot Stitcher. I saw it on one of the FlossTubes, so I think this one's older, but Farmer's Attic had it, and I just fell in love with it. It's just the house, the birds. Looking to see if there was a beehive, because I tend to buy those. But I ordered that, and I also ordered, which I haven't used this before. This is Atomic Ranch linen. This is 40 count Amber Waves, which is a little bit more golden. Let me hold up. Here's just the ticket. So you can see it just a little bit more golden. It's showing up a little more gold than it really is. There it is with the light exemplar. But I just thought, oh, that's a beautiful piece. So I did get those two items from the Farmer's Attic. Again, I'll put the link in there. And, okay, now I've got, I was watching Brenda and Laura a few weeks ago, and they talked about number 12 Quilt Company, which is an Australian, here it is, an Australian company. So I went to their website, and if you order so much, you get free shipping. I can't remember what that is, but you can look at their website. And I was so impressed with how quickly it came from Australia. Again, well packaged. And she put some goodies in with it. I'll show you the goodies after I show you what I purchased. I did purchase, I just thought these were cute, these little floss drops with the crow. Did order those, and then I ordered a couple of scissor fobs because they are just so different. Look at this. Let me put a piece of linen behind it so you can see it. Well, of course, that one's unfolding. Hold on. There we go. Look at that. I just thought that was adorable. So I did get that scissor fob. Now, where am I going to set this? Okay, and one other scissor fob. This one is on a bobbin, which I didn't know when I ordered it. That was a nice little surprise. Look at that. With the bird on the bobbin, and what's on there? A koala bear and a flower and a little birdhouse, which back in January of 2020, I was one of the instructors on a quilting cruise, and we flew into Sydney. We spent a few days there, then we got on our ship and sailed to New Zealand, sailed around New Zealand for a couple of weeks and went back to Sydney. So we were able to spend time in Australia and Sydney and also New Zealand. And so when I saw the koala bear, I thought, I've got to get this. If I can find it, I'll put a picture of my husband and I with a koala bear in Sydney. And it was raining and it was humid and my hair is just a mess, but I'll put that in there so you can see it. Or actually my husband will put it in there so you can see it. I did get 2 floss rings from her to kind of commemorate my trip to Australia. We had just the most wonderful group on that trip of quilters. This has got a little strawberry and scissors. So this is a little floss ring. And this other one, again, has a koala bear, a heart, and it is the Australian flag. So I ordered those just because they were so unusual and reminded me of our trip. Then I ordered some linen, and let me get, this is 40 count Celica. I'm going to put the Lakeside next to it so you can see. So this is the Celica. You can see it's a little bit more brown and a little bit lighter, but a little bit of modeling, just a beautiful piece of linen. Then this one is 46 count salted caramel. So here's the Celica, here's the salted caramel. So you can see a little bit more yellow, but not as yellow as the Amber Waves, but just a little bit. And then the other piece of linen that I got from her is Russian Caramel 46 count. And this one is quite golden. You can see it's a little darker than the Amber Waves. Here's the light exemplar. So I just thought a nice variety of neutral linens that I will be able to pick from. So I did order those. And she added a couple goodies. Now I just dropped the card on the floor. This is something that you can put on the back if you frame a sampler. You can put the information, so the information cards. So she did add those in. And she added a note with a little bit of Australian chocolate. So that was so sweet. So those are the things that I got from, hold please, dropped it on the floor. Number 12, Quilt Company, highly recommend them. Everything came quickly, well packaged. Little personalization notes was a really pleasant surprise. I can't wait to put this on my scissors. And this one, that'd be a pretty zipper pull too on a project bag. Oh, and this one, I did notice that it has a bee. Did not see that before. And just a couple more things from Scattered Seed Samplers. This is a club. I'm not sure if they have any more openings. They did when I ordered or when I signed up. And I signed up because I saw, I think it was Laura had started this from the club. It's a pin keep club. But I think it was Laura, started this of Brenda and Laura of the Brenda and the Cereal Starter. If you haven't seen their floss tube, and I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, I love it. It's like sitting down with two friends and chatting. I just enjoyed it so much. But she started this, and I had thought about the club, but when I saw that, I thought, yes, definitely. And look how it's packaged. It's got a little needle minder. Look at this. It's got the fabric for the back. I haven't even looked to see if the linen's in here. It was so beautifully packaged. Let me just glance in here. I'm sure the linen's in here. Yes, the linen's in here. The floss, just beautifully packaged. It just makes such a beautiful presentation. So this is from Scattered Seed Samplers, Tammy Black. So highly recommend that. Came in this heavy envelope with do not bend. So it was not bent, and even look at the stamp on the back. So one other thing that I purchased this week, and seemed like a lot of these things I purchased a while ago, and they're all coming in at once, and I really don't have anything else scheduled, which I need not to for a while. But you've probably seen this for your floss, and I'll show you what I put it on, but I just used it to make this. It gets all of your threads the same length. And it's from RNR Woodwork. I will put that link in the description. They've got a lot of different finishes. This one I think is dark walnut. But the way that you use it is you take your floss and you're gonna hold it. Let me get it set up. Hold it in the middle like that. And you're gonna wind. And then when you get as much as you want wound, so here's my start, I just cut it right there. So now they're all the same lengths. And this is the 9-inch, so that means they're all 18 inches. So it's just perfect length. And I put those on the other item that I ordered in the last few weeks. These are from, gonna have to put my glasses on, Scarlet Sky Design. I will put it in the description. This is the spring collection. It's like this. Actually, it's like this. So you put this on a floss ring. This has a space for your DMC number. This is where you put your floss. This is where you put extras. So let me show you, because I just did that. So this is all the same length from using my winder. I love, it goes like this. I love that you can put your label so you know exactly the number. So here's my floss that I can pull off, and here's a piece that I used that I have left over. So that's what that's for. So the ones I ordered were springtime, came in this bag. I think there are 12, 6 different designs. So there's a teal, there's a purple, blue, kind of a seafoam green, white, and clear with sparkles. And that's got a little rabbit on the bottom. They have many other designs, but I thought that would be nice for springtime. And I actually, on my Houses of Huck Run Hollow, I knew I was going to use a lot of black, so I went ahead and pulled the black and already put it on there. So I need to put some more and get it on a floss ring, which I might use. Oh, should I use this one maybe? Get those all set up. But I think that's all the things that I have. But this, the floss drops. There it is, Scarlet Sky. I was going to order more, but I thought, let me try it first, and I'm very impressed with them. And that's gonna make it very handy. So I think that's it. Let me check my notes. So what I'll probably be working on, which we're going to go into my Zoom studio, and I will show you some things, some websites, wonderful resources. So please look at that. And then I'll talk about the quilt. This has Liberty of London fabric in it, so we'll put some close-ups so you can see it. But what I'll probably work on in the next 2 weeks, probably work on the houses. I know I want to finish this one, because then house 3 will be done. So once I finish house 3, then I'll probably go back to Sarah Milthrop. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I just want to say before we go switch camera angles, I enjoy FlossTube so much. I enjoy making these. I also enjoy watching them. And I just want to thank all of you FlossTubers out there, because it does take a lot of work to set up, to do it, but I enjoy them so much. So I just want to say thank you to all you FlossTubers, and thank you for all of you that are watching today. So I need to get a drink because I'm choking here. Stay with me. We're going to change camera angles, and I want to show you some wonderful resources. Hey everyone, I have moved to my Zoom studio because I have a little different setup here with a couple more camera angles, and I'm able to access my PC and actually show you that on the screen. So I wanted to share some things from my PC that I thought you would be interested in. A little easier to do here in this studio, which is really just around the corner from my sewing room. But anyway, wanted to set up here. What I wanted to share with you is let me go to the, I joined the Tudor Rose Sampler Guild back in January. I was at Sampler Symposium and actually shared a table with several wonderful ladies, Julia, Shelley, and Lori, who are members of the guild. And actually, Lori is the president, so they were sharing information with me about this guild. And it was great because they do their meetings virtually. So even though they're based in the Dallas area and I live in Tennessee, I'm able to be a part of their guild and enjoy the meetings. So I wanted to share that with you. The Tudor Rose Sampler Guild, you can go to their website, and I wanted to show you that. Let me go to that. So here's their website. You can join the guild. They have their dues start in January, but you can join anytime and you can even visit the guild. You can contact them about that. If you decide to join and it's later in the year than January, they will prorate that. So this is the information, but you can contact them. And the programs that they have are great. They do workshops. The program that's coming up in May is with Katie Strachan. And this is the one we had last night with Dr. Lynn Anderson. She is the director of the Sampler Archive Project, and she had a lecture last evening about Mexican samplers. It was wonderful. The slides were great. You could actually see the detail. She went into depth about all kinds of things about these samplers. So I enjoyed it so much. So I wanted to share that with you. So you can see more information at their website, which is tudorrosesamplerguild.com. I will also put that in the description. But one of the things that Dr. Lynn shared with us last night is she is the director of the Sampler Archive Project, which you can get to that website. It is samplerarchive.org. And I will put that also in the description. But they are documenting samplers. And you can see information about that. In fact, they're going to be documenting very soon in Vermont. You can see information about that. But they have an archive that they are working on that you can do all kinds of searches. And let me just show you this one. You can search by century. So let's take a look at what they've documented from the 17th century or the 1600s. So let's just take a look. Sarah Stone. Here's the sampler. It will give you information about the sampler, who owns it. It will also give you, it's very detailed, physical characteristics, as you can see here. This one is very well documented for the maker history. You can see the year Sarah was born. She was born in Massachusetts. She died in Salem. You can see her mother, father, her marriage to Jacob, and her children. You can even find out about the object history, where it's been documented. But what I wanted to show you also, which is wonderful, is click in large image. Click on the image. And we can zoom right up to see the stitches. So if you are interested in looking at how this was made, the stitches, look at that. I'm just gonna go across it. And if they are photographing, they are doing it in very high resolution, so you can actually see how it's created. Dr. Lynn did mention that if they are provided, sometimes they're provided with the image, so it can't be quite as detailed, but if they are documenting it, they are very careful to really do a high resolution. I'm just going to zoom in. Look at that. You can see the stitches here. Oh, it's a rabbit hole. You can spend all kinds of time with this, but I wanted to share that with you. You can search, let me go back up here to home. You can search for the maker's age. And look at this, 4 to 6. Just click on this child was between 4 and 6. And it was made in 1845. So I wanted to share that with you because there are just all kinds of samplers here. Just going to do a quick scan so you can see these are from the 18th century, quite a few from the 1700s. Look at all these. I haven't even started looking yet. I just looked at a few last night, so I can't wait to really take a look at these. So that is samplerarchiveproject.com. And someone asked last night if any of these had been recreated. I think Dr. Anderson said there were a few, and they may be listed here. You have to look at the description, but she did say that the contributor is listed. So let's say you're interested in perhaps finding out about reproducing a sampler, you would contact the contributor for permission or to find out, perhaps they would also know if it has been reproduced. So that is just a wonderful resource, samplerarchiveproject.org. And the other thing that I found last night when I was digging around is samplings.com. Let's see, let me go back up here. This is a wonderful website. It's samplings.com, not sampling, because I did that and that's a water collection website. It's samplings.com. They have samplers for sale, and I looked at some of them and saw the prices and thought, well, I'll just keep making my own. But if you are interested in purchasing antique samplers, this is a good website to take a look. But what I wanted to show you is upcoming events. Some of these will be in person, so you can read the description, but some of them will be virtual. So that's something else that if you do not live in the area where it is happening, you can look for the virtual lectures. This is the one we had last night. And that was wonderful. So those are a couple of different resources for you. The Tudor Rose Guild, the Sampler Archive Project, and samplings.com. So something that you can take a look at. Let me get back to the right camera there. Because I think these resources are so important to share. And those were several resources last night that were new to me. So I'm looking forward to digging into that Sampler Archive website and really looking at some of the samplers and being able to zoom up and take a look at the stitches and how they were done and how the design was created. Before I finish, I did want to talk about the quilt that's behind me. And this is one of my quilts, one of my designs that I created. It was probably in about 1996. And it was when I was writing my book, Optical Illusions for Quilters. And I was writing a section about creating quilts of illusion in an illusion technique I called straight curves. Storm at Sea would be an example of that. It's straight piecing, but when you look at it, it looks curved. So this is an example of it. You can take a look at the quilt and you will see how it looks like it has lines that are a little bit curved. You can see that the quilt blocks are a variable star, but I have set them with a half square triangle in the corners, so it looks like the star is set in a circle. And then there's a wonderful secondary design, because it looks like there are two different blocks, but that's an illusion. There is the variable star block, but then there's also the secondary design that's created with the border or sashing. It's actually both sashing and border. So it's those long star points that is actually part of a sashing that when it's put together, it looks like two different blocks. The fabric that I used was Liberty of London, partly. I think I used every bit of that. I don't have any more left of that, but Liberty, oh, it's just gorgeous. It's timeless. I created this, like I said, in about 1996. It is a quilt top. I haven't quilted it, but I love it. It's just beautiful. It looks like springtime, and it's just timeless. So I hope you enjoyed seeing that. That is one of my personal quilts that I have not taken to lectures with me or shown in classes. So I wanted to share that with you. Well, thank you for joining me today for my FlossTube number 10. We'll be coming back to you a couple weeks probably. And who knows what I'll have to share then. I have a kind of a running list of things that I want to show you. But then like last night, those websites came up and I thought, okay, what I was going to talk about is going to get moved to another FlossTube because I really wanted to share those resources with you. So until next time, in a couple of weeks, I want to thank you for joining me and would like to say happy stitching and be well.